everybody. Dark Spider here with another episode of Farming Simulator 22. I wanted to talk about tankers today. Um, I actually got a hold of a new tanker. I'm always looking for a bigger tanker, meaning liters wise. And for the longest time, I couldn't find one larger than what I was using. So I wanted to look, and I'm always looking for a larger amount of liters per tanker. I mean, I have my regular farm that I actually do. I have 6 cow barns, large cow barns. So that's a lot of slurry. That's a lot of milk. So I'm always looking for the next big tanker. So let's go ahead and get started here. Start with this one. This is the one that I used to use. I used to have sheep farms that you had to add water to. Um, Now this is a mod, Lizard TARDIS XL. So it's mainly forage wagons, but at the end of it, there are 2 liquid tankers. Sorry, not the end. There's also the uh, TARDIS harvesters. So excuse me on that one. But anyway, so you have a 20,000 liter tanker and you have a 200,000 liter tanker. Um, they're cheap, even all decked out. You know, they don't cost anything. Let's just painted anything here. Um, you're talking about $10,000, 10,300 for 200,000 liters early game, so it's not too bad. It's really not. And you don't even have to do that one. You could go with 20,000. I used to use a 20,000 liter one when I had the sheep farms that you had to add water to. So that's one I used to use for that all the time. And then I was like, oh, why am I using that one when there's a 200,000 liter one next to it? So um, that's the first one. So, I started low. So 200,000, I think, is because I don't recall there being one. There might be one at 150,000. I think there is. But 200,000 liters about where I started this episode on. Just I feel like anything under that is really. I mean, I know I talked about the 20,000 liter one, but it's right next to it. So, but 200,000 liters is pretty decent to start with, and with the price at 7,500, you really can't beat that. So then we're going to jump up quite a bit to the Logistics TLX 48-foot tanker. Now that is also a mod. I gotta find it really quick in my mods, guys. I have a ton of mods because, you know, there's universal, and none of these are very high. Um, there it is right here. So there, TLX 48-foot tanker trailer. It is also a lizard. Now there's 2 different ones, but this one only does fuel like diesel. This one is, it even takes grape juice, milk, herbicide, digested slurry, some oils. So it takes everything you want, and it's 500,000 liters. Now, I used this one for quite some time because I couldn't find anything larger. So, I mean, I use this on my greenhouses for herbicide. I use this for water for my, it's a lime herbicide, fertilizer, and seed factory. I use this for the water on that. It's got a ton of options. But as it will increase the price quite a bit. I mean, if you deck this thing all the way out, I like it because it's got the black bill, sad bill, copperhead's really nice too. I really like the copperhead on this one. Um, it's got tons and tons of options. So you can put vinyls on it, but I don't really use the vinyls. I always put fenders on it. Trailer on the back, which makes no sense because it won't pull anything. But anyways, it's there. We'll go with something crazy here. Let's go with that. And we'll go with some orange. And then room color is always black. So there it is. So 42,270 all decked out. And that's the highest options you can get on it. But 500,000 liters is a good, limit on a trailer. But like I said, I was always looking for something a little bit more, especially when it came to the water. So that moves us on to our next one. Now, the TLX Phoenix is a great truck. I'll do another video on my favorite trucks, but this is one of them. It's very versatile. Um, but it starts getting a little costly when you get into these. So you know, it's really depending on what you want to buy, what you can afford, what you want to pay. So right here, TLX Phoenix, $82,000 is your starting. Okay, and most of you probably know what these are, but you can go in there. It's got a ton of options, but because these are more service trucks, so I mean there are a few options for a fifth wheel. I usually go with the Rigid 2. Got to get to it. There. Like I said, there is a ton of options on this truck. There it is. That's what I go with. Fits the tanker real nice. And then I always go with the CMS, which bumps up the horsepower quite a bit from from 485 to almost 1600. I always change my wheels to Nokian or how you pronounce that. Special editions again, the same thing. You got Black Bell, you got Copperhead, which I really really like. These are probably my two favorites. But I'm a big fan of red and black and blue, so it's decals. I always go with the Cowboy. Lighting, there's several options. You don't even have to do those, but I do it just because it's there. There's a ton of bumpers, but anyways, we're getting out of there. So anyways, there's your truck, and then you hit combinations, which is your R3 stick, and there it is right there, your second one. 18,200 to 820,000 liters. Now this one's pretty versatile too. It holds a lot of different liquids. Now you just gotta be careful when you go in because it says tanker at 18.2. Then you can turn into a slurry spreader for 18.2, or a tanker again for 820,000 liters. Last but not least, the slurry spreader for 820,000 liters. So this one's pretty good. I discovered this, and I've been using this for quite some time now. I stopped using the 500,000 liter one. These are a little bit shorter. They're easier to fit inside, in between the tight spaces of the greenhouses that I need them in. So I use this one quite often. I mean, this is right there. Now, as far as what's next, would be these are there it is. So this one is the Lizard MKS8, and then you have the Lizard MKS32. Now, before I get into the liters on these suckers, this is also a mod. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't use everything in this mod. It's a modernized flour mill, is what the mod is. That's where you get it. You download it off the mod hub. I don't particularly like the flour mill part of it, aspect of it, because it requires diesel for some of it, and I'm not going to do all that. But you click on it, and you get 8,000 liters to 1 million liters for the little guy. Okay, that's a ton of liters to that little guy. You go over to the next one, it's 68,000. It's 32,000 to 2 million liters. Now I have not seen anything in the game larger than 2 million liters. So that's a lot. Now I will tell you, I fill one up with water, and it does take some time to fill up. I mean, 2 million liters is a lot. So it takes a little bit to fill these up. Now I mean, but if you're using it for like slurry or milk, you're filling up from your cow barns. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff because it's not going to matter. But like if you go park in front of a water pump and try to fill it up, you're going to be there for a few minutes. So pull out the newspaper because you're going to be sitting for a little bit. Honorable mention on this: it doesn't take any liquids, but that thing has crazy capacity. So it says 1,000, right? So it's going to be a million liters, right? So 1,000 metric tons. It's 1,000 liters for every 1,000 metric tons, so it should be a million liters. So that's a pretty good dump right there. So, and that'll just connect to the back of it. So that says 12.1 metric tons capacity. There it is. So there it is, a million. Or you can go down to 36,400 if you want, or 24.2 standard. So anyways, just honorable mention for while you're in there. But I think it's worth it for the tankers. I mean, the million liter one is nice and small. Let's. I wonder. I don't know. Yeah, you can haul with this. You got 820,000 here, right? So I mean, you could do 1.82 right here. So there's a million. Now you got your 1.82. So you got 820,000 in the truck, and you got a million liters in the other one. I don't know that you have to open it. The 500,000 liter one you have to open the tops on, but these ones you don't. And I'm wondering if you can fill these up in the pond because it's free water. Yep, refill slurry tanker. And then what about the other one? Well, I guess it's just going to keep filling, so it's going to fill everything. So there's your free water. Now this is on Elm Creek, so you could just do that here without ever having to put any water pumps in. Or there is a water pump that I like to use, but I'm curious. It loads pretty fast. You're already at 15%, so that's not too bad. That's actually loading pretty quick. So this isn't a bad setup right here at all. Now you can also get one of those dollies, I think they're called, where you can attach. It's just a 4 wheels with a 5th wheel. You can put that on that other tanker, drag it behind this one, and you got 2.82 million. But this is a pretty good setup right here. So you're at 30%, so it does load pretty quick. Now the other one, I'll be honest with you, it takes a little bit of time to get this one going. But this one also does not have a cap to open or anything like that. You can just fill it. We'll take it over in the pond too. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure I had a tanker before that wouldn't fill up from the pond, so I'm curious if these will fill up in the pond. We know the little one does, so I would imagine this one does too. And there it is, refill trailer. So there you go. Looks like it's moving pretty fast there too. Now we can get out while it's refilling. We don't have to be in it. Let's take a look where we're at. So it's at 60%. That's pretty quick. So that's pretty good stuff right there, guys. So there you have it. I mean, people are always asking about tankers in the forums. I see a lot of it. And I answer as many as I can, but I thought, let me just do a video, get these tankers out there. These are really good tankers. Even if you want to go down with a smaller one, they're all good. It just depends on the size of the farm you're running and how much water you really need. I try to get as little amount of vehicles as I can, so if I have a 2 million liter tanker, I'm only going to need the one probably. I don't need 2 or 3. So, but again, 3 or 4 of the little tiny ones at 200,000 is going to cost me a lot less than even 2 million one. So it's just a matter of what you want, how you want it, and how you need it is all it is. So that's almost done already. That's at 94%. I'm trying to get to where you can see that number easier. There we go. Put on that red. So 98%, and that's filled. Refill trailer. So now we're gonna get this trailer filled up, and there you have it. So that's how you do that. But guys, I just wanted to put this out there for anybody that's looking for good tankers. These are it. I think they'll do you well. Just remember that these are mods, and when you go get a mod, just make sure you rate and tell them thanks. Remember, it's a modernized flour mill to get those big liter tankers. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Hit your notifications so you know when the new videos come out. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.